Yeah, I mean, just first of all, man, what an awesome atmosphere. Homecoming, we expected it, and it was. Everybody, out in red. Students were into it. Great atmosphere, and we're obviously proud of what our guys did tonight. But anytime you can do that on a night like homecoming, we're putting some great people in the Hall of Fame. But also you got alumni coming back and people that have so much pride about this program, and to be able to put a product out there that they can be proud about, I think is huge for us. And we take that to heart. We talked about it this week for our team. What kind of, how much effort can we go out and play today in all phases. You're obviously really proud of our defense and Coach Veit and the whole defensive staff putting together a game plan to contain, the nation's top passing offense. And what they did tonight was incredible, holding them to 137 yards passing. And can't say enough about what those guys did and our players of how they executed the plan, all week long in practice. I thought they did an outstanding job with that. And then our offense to go out there and rush for, 266 yards and to control the game that way. We haven't really won games this year like this where, we won the time of possession by 10 minutes. We were controlling the game, running the football. And I thought it was a good game plan to come in and be able to do that, keep their offense off the field. And then again, I thought our special teams were outstanding. We forced a fumble, we get the ball back, we knocked down 2 field goals, and Max had to punt 1 time, but it was 44 yards with no return. So it was a great execution in the teams as well. So it was just a complete team win, and that's how we like it.
Even in your best vision of how this game was going to play out, was it holding them to 137 yards passing?
No, I mean, I obviously didn't think about a number of yards we'd hold them to, but I think the big thing for us was, we felt like they may hit a few plays here and there, but let's keep them out of the end zone. And I think, early in the game, I thought we did a great job with that. Right there at the end of the first half, they go get a touchdown, and then they get another one right at the end of the beginning of the third quarter. And they started grabbing some momentum, and they cut it with 7 points. And I thought our team did a great job at that point of starting to make plays. We get the ball back. We go, and the offense goes and scores. We get the fumble, we score again. I just thought we responded in a great way at the end of that game to grab that momentum back when it could have went either way.
A lot of quarterbacks get pubbed this time of year. Your guy doesn't throw for a ton of yards, but throws 2 touchdown passes, 85 yards rushing. Was it a pretty big sigh of relief when he scampered 23 yards and strutted in there?
Yeah. No, it was awesome. We certainly going to utilize his legs because he's good. He's a good runner. He runs hard. He runs to score. He runs to get first downs. I love the demeanor that he takes when he's running the football. But also throwing the football, he was very efficient again tonight. We didn't need as much in the passing game for this game, but when we needed it, he came through. Incredible play there at the end on the touchdown pass. I mean, I had a great view right there. I mean, that was one of those low arm angle throws that ends up getting in there. Not exactly how we drew that play up, but we'll take it, to get the touchdown. But it was a great play on that 3rd and 1. But Brendan is playing efficient football, and that's what we're asking from him. Take what the defense is going to give us, nothing more, nothing less. And I thought we did a great job of that tonight.
You've kind of been criticized by fans about sometimes being too conservative in the second half, but it's 2 straight weeks where a turnover turns directly into points, and then the score just gets wider and wider. Does that kind of make you realize the level you guys can go up to when you start having those turnovers and turning those into points?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a very efficient offense, and I think, we've talked about this early in the season, how you get in the second half, you're not going to take as many chances in the second half, if you're going to try to win the football game. And if you're playing good defense and good special teams, the ball's going to bounce your way some. The last couple of weeks it has. We both blew both of those games open in the fourth quarter by playing this way. And obviously we expect our guys to go out and make plays, and they were able to do that. But I'll take 41 points if it's a little conservative in the second half. I'll take it.
What does it say about your team or this defense? You mentioned about how they started making the big plays when they needed to take away momentum. What does that say about this team or this defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think they play with great poise. I don't think they get rattled if they give up a play or a first down, and shoot. I mean, they hit a couple 4th downs on us. I mean, again, that's 6 opportunities to defend a 4th down. I mean, I know we're the most in the Big 12 at defending 4th downs. I mean, I know that. But again, tonight we had to defend 6 more. But I don't think they panic. I think they continue to play the next play. And when you do that, then you're going to make more plays than not. And so, you know, and also when teams get down the red zone, they don't panic. You know, I mean, when they get down there, they continue to make their plays. They're going to run through the football, and it's never over until it is. You know, and I think I love that spirit about them. And you know, we'll continue to get better to try to get off the field on these 3rd and 4th downs. But I think at the same time, you got to play with that same great poise that we've been playing with.
Do you think that Brendan Sorsby deserves to be in the Heisman conversation at this point in the year?
I think that he just needs to continue to take care of his business, which is taking what the defense gives us, and at the end of the season, when we get to it, they're going to look and they're going to find, all right, who's the best teams, number one, because the Heisman always goes to the best teams, and then who's playing the best on that team. You know, so if we're continuing to do the things that we're doing right now, then his name will be mentioned. So, but we don't worry about it now. There's a month left of football, you know, so we got to continue to do the things that have gotten us to this point so far.
You mentioned the rushing yards. Was that by design to shorten the game and keep Baylor's offense off the field, or was that just game script, game flow, having success and sticking with it?
Well, I think going into it, just at a offensive versus their defensive approach, we felt like we can run the football, and we felt we needed to run the football. And by doing that, you know, a byproduct of that is to be able to keep them off the field. But I think the main mindset was let's be physical on offense and let's just try to run it right at them. I mean, I think that was the main thing. But just the byproduct of it was the fact that we were able to occupy the ball and keep them off the field.
Coach, obviously, we talked the offensive game. Let's talk about the defensive end. Gola-Collard had his best game of the season. Obviously, this season, he's playing with a little bit more of a purpose after some stuff he dealt with this offseason. Talk us through the growth of him and what you've been able to see from him over the recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, number one, he's just a great human being. I love being around Trey. He's always a positive attitude. Even though he's dealt with some things that you mentioned, he's dealt with some personal things that have been tough on him. But he still comes to the building there with a great attitude and ready to work. He's a leader. He's a quiet leader. I think he's really grown over the last 2 years as well, because he's not the biggest guy out there, particularly playing safety. And I thought this last year, you know, he's not very big, and then we're asking him to come fill that alley right there and tackle these big backs we got to tackle in this conference. But he never shies away. I mean, he's always flying down in there trying to make a play. But more importantly, I just love how he carries himself. You know, he's a very, very great individual.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but you had scored on every red zone trip this season.
I know. I found out about it a while ago.
And then you take a knee. Should you have kicked a field goal there?
No. We have scored in the red zone every time we wanted to score. That is still 100%. We didn't want to score that time. That's how we should put that, Zach. Yeah.
Scott, I believe this is your first single-season 7-game win streak as a head coach. Had a few 6-game win streaks, but your first single-season 7-game win streak. Does that mean anything to you? What stands out about that number?
No, I mean, it just means our team's playing good. That's what it means. You know, you did some fact checking on that, huh? So, no, that's not something I think about. I mean, I think about how we can be good each and every day, the day that we're in. That's what I think about. And you know, and what our guys have been able to accomplish is a byproduct of that. They really bought into that, and really, you know, going out every single day and done the best they can that particular day, and then it's showing up on game day. And I think that's what we're seeing. You know, and we got a lot of respect for this conference. We have a lot of respect for the teams that we're playing in this league. I think it's some great coaches and some great players, and it's hard to win football games. And so for what we've accomplished this far, I think it says a lot about our guys.
What kind of peace of mind does Steven Rusnak give you?
He's pretty calm, man, and very confident. You know, we see it in practice every day, and you know, even in practice, like when he doesn't knock one down, the next one you know for certain it's going in. That's just the way he is. He's got a lot of confidence in his ability, and all our team does too. So we all believe in him, and you know, when he trots out there, we expect him to make it. And he does too. And most of them all of them are going in right now. So hopefully we keep that going.
Scott, looking at the schedule going into November, Utah next week, do you guys sense that while the schedule may be getting very difficult, what you're playing for is exactly what you wanted to set out to play for coming into the season? Do you guys feel that way going into November?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we felt that way all year. You know, even, you know, after the Nebraska game, and we still had our goals all out in front of us, and they're still out in front of us. And, you know, but we have to stay in the moment. We have to stay, you know, of the task at hand, which, you know, after tonight, we'll come in tomorrow, we'll clean this game up, and it'll all be on Utah. I mean, will it be a challenge? Absolutely. they're an outstanding football team. To go on the road, we got to fly all the way across the country to play these guys. So, yeah, it'll be a challenge. But man, it's what we're signed up for, and we're excited about it. We're excited about this opportunity to be playing, here at the end of October, early November for playing for a conference championship.
Saw Evan Pryor come off the field and head to the locker room late in the game. Any update on his status?
No, we'll have more, obviously, when we get in here and get some things on that. But it's some kind of lower leg injury. But we'll see what that looks like probably by Monday.
I asked Brennan this question last week, but when did you realize that the expectations for this team should be beyond just a bowl game? He said it was when everyone got here in the spring and he saw how much talent you guys had.
Yeah, I do. I go back to also the once we got our team here, because most of our team was here in the spring, but then we got everybody here when we started this summer. You could feel it. I mean, there was a sense in the building. Everybody's holding everybody accountable. We didn't hardly have many at all mishaps, guys late or whatever, which, you're going to have some of those on a team of 100 and some guys. It's a tight team. It's a team that care about each other. Our guys don't really care about stats. I think obviously, if you're not making a tackle or if I'm not getting a catch or a carry, I mean, obviously you're upset because you want to get that. But ultimately, our guys care about winning. And when you have a team full of guys in a locker room that care about winning, then you're going to win more than you're not. A great example is Max. I said, man, Max, did you do anything tonight? He's like, I had one punt, coach. I had one punt. And I was like, he said, but look at that score. Like he said, well, look at the score. He's like, so he don't care. And so that's the kind of guys we have in that locker room. And as long as we continue to have that attitude, we'll have a good football team.
Did you try to do an Australian accent there?
Yeah, I think it went a little bit more England or British. It went British. My wife makes me watch these dumb British shows sometimes, so I probably went that route.
What does a win, a homecoming win, when you have former NFL guys, draft picks, all sorts of guys that played here, some on good teams, some on bad teams, you come through with a Big 12 win?
Yeah, that's why I said it earlier. I think anytime you can come away with a huge win on homecoming, it makes everybody proud. Everybody's going away. They're going to the homecoming parties now. They're celebrating. They get to talk about our team. It's everybody's having a great time, and that's obviously what you want on homecoming. So we'll do the same thing. We'll go celebrate this win, watch a little college football this evening, and then put this on bed tomorrow and get on to Utah.
There's no good British TV on?
I hope not. No, not tonight. This football tonight, baby. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Trey, you knew coming in this was going to be a team that led the country in pass defense or passing yards. What does it say to hold them to 137 yards the way that you guys were able to do?
For us, it was just executing our plan. Our coaches had a great plan. We executed it. We knew they were a good team, and we knew we were a good team.
You held Robertson to 137 yards passing, which is incredible. Watching the tape of him, did you think that was even possible?
He's a good player. I knew we just had to come out and handle what we had to handle, focus on ourselves, one play at a time.
Michael Trigg has had one of the best seasons from a tight end across the country. What was your guys' plan for him coming into it? What was the communication like with the linebackers to make sure he was covered?
Yeah, he's a good player. We joked about it. We guard Joe Royer every day, So going against Joe helps, So that's something that we took not lightly, but we executed it.
Coach Satterfield talked about how at the half, Baylor scored the touchdown going into the half, then they were able to get it on the other side of it. But when they were getting momentum, that there was a time where the defense stepped up. They started making plays. They got the turnover. What happened inside of those defensive screaming conversations on the sidelines, on the field, that you guys were able to step up?
Yeah, we talk about winning the middle eight, winning just not the first quarter, not the fourth quarter, but winning that Modane in the middle, So that's what it came down to.
A lot of talk is about bend, don't break your defense.
Yeah.
How are you guys able to execute the don't break part?
Like I said, one play at a time. You come out there, they're going to make some plays. You just have to bounce back and make plays as well.
I believe coming into the game, you guys, the opponents had attempted 24 fourth downs, 6 more today. Does it feel like as a defense, like you guys just have to prepare that teams are going to have to go on fourth down a ton because of how well your offense has played this year?
Yeah, we kind of go out there with the mindset that we're going to be playing 4 downs no matter what. That's just kind of what offense is in the Big 12 now.
How much of a change is that for you? Play football your whole life, 3rd down, and you're like, all right, rack it up again. Here we go.
Just another play. Get another play in.
Trey, you mentioned it a little bit on the Four Claps podcast of the purpose you're playing for this season, obviously with the passing of your brother. Walk us through with this, seeing this thing come to reality and fruition this season, to have a night like tonight, 11 tackles, lead the team. Talk about how this season you're playing with that purpose for something bigger than football.
Yeah, I know my brother is with me at all times. You know, before I go out on the field, I know he's with me. If you guys see, I wear a purple mouthpiece. It's because his favorite color was purple. So I always take that with me, and I know in the moments that he's with me, and I'm gonna keep going regardless. For me, my family, and him.
There's been some chippy plays by some safeties and DBs, a few suplexes that have been called for flags.
Yep.
Who in that room, in the defensive back room as a whole, kind of leads that attitude and wants to set the standard to play tough and play physical?
I think it's all of us. We kind of all have that chippy mentality of we got this and we're going to do this, It helps when you have corners like Logan Wilson who chip in from downtown. So
You've had a unique journey to Cincinnati. Seeing the type of success you guys are having this year, how much more is that motivating you to keep going?
It motivates me a lot. I feel like we were on the verge last year, and we got certain pieces that I feel like just stepped our game up that much more.
You're from the West, and the game's in Utah, and you played a little bit in that state. So any more friends, family coming next week that you'll get to see?
Yeah, I have a little bit more family in town for the Utah game. Yeah, definitely.
Trey, obviously, year 2 in this system. Talk us what it's been like with Coach Veit, and how have you been able to adapt to have the role that you're having now?
Yeah, with Coach Veit, he's a consistency guy. So you're making plays consistently. It doesn't have to be a big play. Just make your layups is what we talk about all the time, is making your layups. If you're making your layups, you'll see success in this defense, So
I don't know if you guys – I think he talked to the corners. Did you guys get a chance to hear from Kobe Bryant before the game? And
yeah,
what's it like to see a guy like that having that kind of success around?
It's inspirational, honestly. Just seeing him come back and talk to everybody, it's inspirational. It gives you that little bit more drive.
Logan, #1 passing offense in the country coming in. They only put up 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. What's that say not just about how you guys played, the game plan, how did everything come together this week to make that happen?
Yeah, it started in Tuesday, like first day of practice. I mean, we put the game plan in, and everybody just kind of bought into the game plan, and we just came out there and executed, honestly, and we just held them to 137. I mean, we had a few PIs, but we play corner, so it's going to happen. But other than that, though, we just got to come out and just keep playing day after day.
Logan, walk us through the play. One-on-one coverage. You forced the fumble, recover it. What did you see on that to make that play?
It's not even what I seen before we even went out there. I mean, we kind of knew they was going to do 3-by-1. That was kind of that formation. We kind of knew they was going to do 3-by-1. Coach Hicks was like, low, watch the hitch. Like 3-by-1, watch the hitch. So he ran the hitch. Boom. I just kind of just poked it out and just got on the ball.
Coach Satterfield talked about how at the end of the first half, Baylor scores, beginning of the second half, Baylor scores, and then there was a momentum shift. They were gaining momentum, and you guys stopped it. What were you guys able to do to stop that momentum? What does it say about this defense?
We just bend, don't break. I mean, we going to play a lot of plays. We going to just bend, not break. We're going to stop the run. We're going to actually just do what we're supposed to do in the game that we're supposed to do it. So it's just good that we all just follow the line and just complete the mission.
What did you see on the pass interference calls? Was it kind of just not getting the head around, a little undisciplined, and is that an easy fix?
Yeah, we kind of grabbing at the top instead of looking and leaning first. So, I mean, this is something that we're going to work on Tuesday and get it back and fix it.
For those of us that don't know, what goes on once the ball gets loose, you jump on it, and then like a dozen other guys jump on you? What happens? Anything you can say that is said in those little scrums?
Nah, not really. I just try to get the ball back to the hole, man. That's it.
Logan, Kobe Bryant spoke to the team before the game. You're a fiery, passionate guy. Did that get you ready for this war today?
Yeah, it was actually a turn just seeing him, come back and talked to us before we go out there, and the way his, game plan was just teed us all up. So we was actually fired up to get to see him and enjoy talking to him.
I asked Trey, who in the defensive back room kind of sets the standard for the amount of chippiness and physicality you guys play with. He mentioned you. When did you kind of decide that you were going to take that mantle as someone who kind of sets the tone in terms of physicality?
That's just what Coach Sad and Coach B just gave me the opportunity to do. And, they just know I'm a fiery guy. I'm going to come out and, piss hot, like I said. So I'm going to just come out and just do what I'm supposed to do and just kind of just help the team in any way, shape, or form. So just glad I, can be able to do it.
When you look at your defense with each week, I believe you guys have only given up an average of 18 points during this winning streak. How much confidence has that given you as a group, knowing what you can do despite giving up the yards?
It's just really just day by day, honestly. Started in practice, so we just know we just bend don't break. 3 down, so we know the runs. We got to fill in the gaps, regardless. Corners, safeties got to fill in the gaps. Linebackers passing, linebackers got to fill. Safeties got to play deep. So it's just, it's all just meshing together, and we just kind of just playing as one.
Kobe give you any inspiration? You gonna get one of those Balenciaga jumpsuits and the Cartier glasses?
Nah, he ain't tell me all that. I don't think he's going to give me that.
No, you're gonna get one for yourself.
But I'm gonna get one for myself real soon. I'm gonna get one.
Logan, you're standing on the sideline. What was more impressive? Tawi running yet another guy over, or
Right.
Brendan taking some ankles en route to a touchdown run?
Man, I think both of them was really good. But, I just like seeing Sorsby, just look like he just like Lamar Jackson back there. So it's actually cool, man, just seeing Sorsby doing that. But it's also good for we, too, just seeing them truck folks like I see every week. But it's amazing, though.
All right, we've got quarterback Brendan Sorsby. Questions for Brendan? Scott?
Did you watch Game Day today and hear Mr. Saban refer to you as Sorley?
Yeah, and I was just on a podcast asking for a nickname, so I think Coach Saban just gave me one by accident. So there we go.
Were you Sorley when you scored on the 23-yard touchdown?
I was happy. Whatever sorely means, if it is a synonym to happy, yes, absolutely I was.
Did you kind of have a feeling coming in that the ground game was really going to be a heavy focus today, or was that just it was working so you guys kind of kept rolling with it?
A little bit of both. We knew that we could come in and probably be the more physical team. Obviously, you never know truly coming into a game, but, I feel like our offensive line was dominating out there. And, you just keep feeding into that and keep it on the ground. And we were doing a really good job of running it, threw it whenever we needed to. Obviously, still would like the pass game to be a little bit more efficient, but we got the job done, and that's all that matters.
Were you planning on high stepping?
No, it's always just a happening, and that one was egregious. I was like, I think I might have started this one a little too early, but yeah, it just happened.
Do you think at this point in the season you should be in the conversation for the Heisman?
I don't know. I'm just out there trying to do my job, trying to, obviously put up numbers by, helping us win games. At the end of the year, it's going to go to, a player on one of the better teams. So if we keep taking care of business, who knows? But that's priority number one right now is winning ball games, and, we'll see what happens at the end of the year.
I asked Coach Satterfield about how the turnovers are going directly to points now. 2 games in a row, it didn't really happen earlier in the season. How much more comfortable does that make you as a quarterback and the offense as a whole, knowing you have that support?
Yeah, it's big time. Our defense, held one of the best offenses, not only in the Big 12, but in the country, to 20 points and not a lot of yards. So props to them for getting us the ball back, and, props to us for them putting it in the end zone and capitalizing on the turnovers.
With each week, each win, the pressure mounts, the picture becomes bigger for your guys' overall goal. How do you as a leader keep your team grounded and focused on just the next game?
We've taken it 1 week at a time the whole season. I'm not worried about our guys changing up now. Every week has been a big week for us. Nothing's going to change going into the next week.
On the last touchdown, it looks like Baylor did a really good job defending that play. How late in that process did you see Isaiah pop open and then the sidearm kind of delivery there?
Yeah, all week in practice, it was either, because kind of like a little bit of misdirection, it was either Tawi or I was going to run it. And then number 0 did a great job, and he was just right in my face. So I was like, here goes nothing. A little drop the slot action, thanks to baseball. My high school baseball coach actually just texted me. tried to take credit for it, but I'm not going to let him do that. Nah, just all jokes. But no, Isaiah did a really good job. We hadn't had that look all week in practice, and he did a good job just making a play.
You're clearly having a good time here, but each week the games get bigger as you continue to win. The guys look to you as the leader. You act as the leader. How do you continue to still play carefree and have fun?
That's what's gotten us here. You know, we're out there having fun with it. And we tag it like that every day in practice. You know, we're going out there, you know, we're competing, but we're having fun. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Our big boys up front are having fun with it too, out there pancaking dudes and, you know, talking trash. So it's what it's all about. It's just a game at the end of the day, and we're having fun playing it.
Is this the most fun you've had in your career?
Oh, absolutely. Winning is fun. So whenever you can win, it's always a blast.
Don't think you had a turnover-worthy play again today. Didn't take a sack. Your pressure-to-sack ratio is one of the best in the entire country in terms of just when you do get pressured, how often you let those turn into sacks. What's been the biggest kind of change or key that you've kind of tweaked in your game to turn that number around so much from last year to this year?
Yeah. You know, our O-line battles all game long. If I feel a little bit of pressure, I'm not just going to sit back there and, you know, if there's a little bit of pressure, I can still make a play, whether it's outside the pocket, stepping up, running it, whatever it may be. And we got a lot of playmakers outside that can do well in the scramble drill. So it's really just, you know, it breaks down. You kind of feel it and get out of it and try to do whatever you can to get a positive play from it. Luckily, I haven't been in too many situations like that with our O-line protecting me like they are. All it takes is a little Jeff Ruby's and some dinner once a week, and those guys start to like you a little bit more.
What position did you play in baseball?
I was center field, so it really just – I mean, my head baseball coach texted me saying that I played second base, which is just not right. I didn't play a little bit of third base, played center field majority. Yeah, I was like, all right, that is just disrespectful. Now you're trying to, you know, downplay me and all this stuff. So me and him got into it. I actually blocked him on text and stuff now. So, no, center field.
How much do you think your baseball career and that throwing motion kind of influences how you throw a football now? Because you see it with Russell Wilson and Mahomes being baseball players and they work in that way.
Yeah, it's just kind of natural. Obviously, I have a quarterback trainer, but it's more like a lower half. Not too many people have tried to mess with my throwing motion necessarily. Just kind of go out there and let it rip and just kind of natural with it.
Brendan, on the touchdown run, could you walk us through what you saw on that play? Obviously, the guy to your right over here kind of had the big block to spring the hole. What did you see on that play and the block from Joe?
Yeah, great block. Like he said, he was like, I didn't hear anything but just the crowd roar, and I knew you had done something good. So it was really just, you know, one-on-one. You got to find a way to make him miss, and then just find a way into the end zone.
We asked Logan about what was more impressive, Tawi running somebody over, or you taking that guy's ankles, and he compared you to Lamar Jackson. Do you have any comments on that?
No comment on that at all. I'll take the credit. I'll take the compliment from Logan. Good kid he is, so I appreciate that from him.
What's your process like post-game on a Sunday, going through the film? How do you sit down with Coach Thomas? How do you guys break it down? What are kind of the checks and balances you go through?
Yeah, you get to watch it on the sideline, obviously, so you're kind of watching it back just all at once. You try to go into it trying to get something from it, not so much just watching the success that you had. So that'll be the focus tomorrow, is just like it is every week. Go in there, see what you can clean up, just build off the good, remember the good, and then flush the bad and try to build off it.
I don't know if you talked to Robinson or not after the game, but did he say anything to you about what happened? I mean, he's thrown for ridiculous yards, and 137 is way below what he normally averages.
Yeah. We talk all throughout the season, ever since media days and stuff. We built a pretty good relationship. We train with the same trainer, so you know, props to him. He's been spinning around this year, and after the game, nothing but, you know, respect between the two of us. I'll probably talk to him sometime throughout this next week and give him a hard time, but he's playing really well this year.
Ryan, final question.
I assume you approach every game the same, but being from Denton, is there a little extra motivation playing against those guys at Baylor?
Yeah, there's always a little extra motivation, you know. But they did recruit me in the transfer portal, so I can't give them too much crap for it. So, you know, out of high school, obviously you want to prove everybody wrong. You want to prove yourself right, and we're doing a good job of finding a way to win these games. regardless of who we're playing, we just got to continue to do that.
Joe, you guys have had the chance to be really good in both phases throughout this year. Was today a day where you guys knew coming in it's going to be a day to smack some people and try to run the football and control this game?
Yeah, I mean, going into it, we like what we saw with some of the boxes that we were getting. Something that we always do is we write up like our top 10 plays, and you kind of know we're going to run the ball out when most of those 10 plays are run plays. And it was working right off the bat, and it was just something that Gavin was communicating well to all of us, and it was something that we were able to just keep doing and keep getting better at throughout the game.
When Tommy Walker gets 19 carries, are you fairly confident he's going to get his yards?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And when he belts somebody, do you hear that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I hear it every time. Tommy Walker is a very powerful running back, and if he gets the ball that many times, I mean, he's going to truck a handful of guys. So, yeah, he's going to fight for every single one of those yards, and he's going to stand up, so that makes it a lot of fun for us linemen to get in there and push the pile and get the crowd going, get the energy up.
I saw you kind of get down the field on the end around to Isaiah Johnson, but obviously a left tackle is kind of known for pass protection. What's your favorite thing to do? Do you enjoy getting downfield, or do you like the pass pro?
I mean, I like scoring touchdowns. I like winning games. I mean, that's a generic answer. I do like doing those type of plays. Looking back at it, I wish I just would have kept running, because I don't get to do a lot of those. So I mean, when you get to be out in field, I mean, you're just running. It's a lot of fun because, I mean, a big guy like me, when I'm running like that, I should be able to get someone over. I mean, Dion did the same play on the other side later in the game, and he had an amazing block. But, yeah, I mean, pass protection's been really fun because you know Sorsby's going to be safe back there, and he's going to sling the ball, and we're going to get a lot of yards from it.
Joe, you mentioned Tawi running a guy over. As an offensive line, seeing the success you guys are having, have you sat back and watched some of these runs from Tawi, and if so, what have been those reactions when you see him at 5'8", 220 pounds, run somebody over like he's done multiple times this season?
Yeah, I mean, like the other one was during that Iowa State game, and I think we rewatched that clip like 5 times. Like we rewatched it a whole bunch of times because as an O-line, we really like seeing stuff like that because it shows our running backs. Because Evan does the same thing. I mean, Evan gets a lot of props too. He's just doing the same thing. Because then we can see that, I mean, these guys are giving it as much as we are, and like I said, when they were up like that, we get to go in on the pile, and we really enjoy doing that.
Sacks are a quarterback and offensive line conjoined stat. Obviously, if you don't have good pocket discipline as a quarterback, you're going to get more sacks. If you guys are giving up more pressures, there's going to be more sacks on the flip side. What is there a kind of continuity on practices each week where you're practicing where Sorsby is going to be setting his depth with him, like in consciously, or is it kind of separately? You guys are watching film and seeing where Sorsby is going to be setting, and you're not necessarily kind of exactly practicing that and repping that, but it's just kind of coming together and been really fruitful this season anyway.
I mean, that's something that the coaches have done a really good job with. I mean, Coach Cardwell, there's a lot of times when we're doing like blitz pickup and stuff like that, he'll have us like turn around and like show us exactly where Sorsby is going to be set up. So I mean, and then during film he'll do the same thing. So it's something that we'll be able to be like, okay, this play he's going to typically like roll left a little bit and sit here. So you just kind of got to position your body to, I mean, just keep the guy away from Sorsby at the end of the day.
You were highly coveted coming out of the transfer portal. Under Coach Cardwell, where do you feel like you've improved the most, and how gratifying is it to see that vision play out the way you were sold?
I think I've improved a lot in just my overall like aggressive of play. I mean, when you're playing around guys like Ev, Taryn, Gav, Dion, you're going to get more aggressive. Something that I didn't feel like I did a lot in my past years was just trying to finish my man and playing with more aggressive, more energy. So that's something that he's been bringing to me that I've really enjoyed so far. And then just overall like pass protection. A lot of things that we do is we go and get hands on guys and just kind of not doing more of like 2-hand punches and doing like 1 punch at a time, keeping your head out of things. But just our main motto is just growth and getting better week after week.
I assume for an offensive lineman, something like scoring 34 consecutive times in the red zone is a badge of honor. Did you realize that streak came to an end when you took a knee?
I was actually the one that said it. Yeah, because I looked up at the scoreboard and I said it said like the red zone, and I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, is this going to ruin our streak? And I mean, Evan next to me, he was like, it doesn't matter, we won. I was like, yeah, but it's a cool stat. So, but yeah, I did realize that it is. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's just how it is. How we got to finish out the game.
Do you agree with Sat that it doesn't count because you didn't try to score?
I mean, in my head, I was honestly thinking that like 50-50 on if it counted or not. And I guess it counts. So I mean, I can agree with him on that. I don't think it should count, but it is what it is.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.